Hello, everyone, and welcome to Us Adria podcast. We have special guests for you today and tomorrow during the Adria Security Summit of 2024. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. So welcome to Us podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me.
I would like first to, if you can introduce yourself to our lovely audience.
Oh, yes, sure. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Stefano Pesce. I am from Italy, and my company is called STid. It's a French company that is a manufacturer of readers for access control systems.
Perfect. And for how long is the company? Since
the
when was
company
it established?
has got almost 30 years, so it's a long story. It's a story of innovation, and that's why we've been growing so much in all the countries around the world, because of innovations and because of new technologies that we could bring to market.
And tell me, what do you think about the market here in the Balkans?
Well, it's a really promising market. Economy is growing, so I can see that there is a lot of interest, especially for big factories. But not just for big factories, there are a lot of companies dealing with access control in general in this area.
Yeah. And are you the first time here in Bosnia?
It's the first time, yes, it was a pleasure. I still need to go to Sarajevo. I think I will do that tonight.
Perfect. But don't go without having for dinner Bosnian cevapi. Yeah?
Okay,
You have to try them.
good. I will.
Okay, so can you tell us something about your background and what made you go enter the security environment and the security field?
Well, let me say that I always like technology in generally, and I had the opportunity by chance to start my second job in a security company, and that's why I came closer to security. Nothing special really. But I still like, to build things, and I see that in security market, it's very important to build customized design and solutions for the customers. So that's why I'm still in this market that is always growing and is very interesting.
Perfect. And was it always in cards, access controls, or
No.
you had different?
No, actually, I started with intruder alarms, and then of course CCTV, fire, and finally access control. Actually, access control is the last one growing.
Yeah.
But I think that nowadays is one of the most promising markets here in Europe.
You have experience in all the fields related to security.
I think so, a little bit, yes.
So what inspired you join STid?
Well, I was looking for a company really looking and focused on innovation. Because as a salesman, I think it's very important to bring to market something new, something interesting. And I could find that STid was the company I really liked, and fortunately they chose me to grow the market in South Europe.
So I think they made the right choice, right?
I hope so. Well, numbers are always telling the truth.
Exactly.
So.
And talking about sales, in sales, it's very important to be positive, to smile. Like I just met you now, just before the podcast, and you really made this whole thing, like bright and shine. And with your smile, I'm feeling comfortable talking to you.
Well, thanks a lot. You too.
Okay, so in this evolving world of security and technology, what is your secret sauce of keeping yourself innovative, involved, and keeping yourself updated all the time with technology?
Well, I think the secret is to speak with everybody. In my opinion, I have to learn from everybody. That's the secret. Everybody can give you some information, some suggestions that I like to make mine when I think it's worth it, and that's the secret.
So it's important to be a good listener then, not just talk and...
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
First, it's important to listen, to make questions, and then maybe you can provide a good answer.
Now, talking a bit about STid. So can you just tell me more about the business they are in which security field they are exactly working?
Well, yes. First of all, I like to say that STid is a European manufacturer. So all the R&D is in Griasc, that is close to Marseille in France. We develop readers, just readers, But for this reason, I think we have a very good expertise inside the company, and we can provide a very large portfolio of solutions and readers. That's the secret, because of we can deal with the major brands in the access control market,
Okay.
such as, I don't know, Tyco, Siemens, Genetec, Motorola. I think almost all the main.
And those are readers that could be standalone and they could be integrated in other systems, right? Or
Not really standalone.
Okay.
We don't have any memory or intelligence on board. The reader needs to be part of a bigger ecosystem.
Okay.
So it's like, if you think about a car, we are the manufacturer of tires. Then we need to have a vehicle. So we can be used in different situations, and our main focus is to be able to provide the right reader for any application. So that's why we have a very big portfolio of readers for any needs of the customer, from standard readers to biometric readers.
RFID, MyFair.
MyFair, yes, there are a lot of technologies. Some are more secure, some are a little bit obsolete, maybe, but we still can cover all of them, because it's also important, to make savings for what has been an investment maybe recent.
And do you have also NFC readers? I believe also you do.
NFC readers and virtual cards in general are really, something growing a lot in the market.
Virtual cards. What do you mean when you say virtual cards?
Virtual cards means that
invisible card.
It's not invisible, actually. It is on your mobile, or
Okay.
maybe on your smartwatch.
Yeah.
That makes the difference, because more and more we are used to use these kind of wearable devices in our everyday life. And we think actually that we can do almost everything with our mobile, and that's true.
Yeah.
So why not to use that in access control systems?
Perfect. And how secure is it to use those virtual?
To tell the truth, I think it's more secure than a traditional card. Because first of all, on a virtual card, you can have the same level of the highest level security in physical cards. But at the same time, it's very easy to combine just an ID with some biometric factors, authenticator factors, such as Face ID, for example. So at the end of the day, you have the same level of security you can have with a credit card, for example. So you have the same level of security you are used with your bank.
And now you said you have Face
ID,
readers.
yes.
Yes, Face ID. What about the GDPR and the rules of, for example, in Europe, California, US?
That's a good question. Actually, in Europe, we have some rules that are a little bit stricter than in US. But with mobile credentials, that comes easier, because the owner of the data is the same one that is the owner of the mobile. So actually, nothing is stored in the system. Nothing is far away from you.
Okay.
So it's your mobile.
Even if your reader is integrated to other systems?
Yes, because
it doesn't
actually the reader is asking to make a face recognition to your device.
Okay.
Then if your device recognizes you, the reader and the mobile gives an ID number to the reader. So we just know the ID. We don't know anything about your face or your finger.
Okay, because I come across this question a lot. We are also dealing with security systems, and many people are asking me, especially from security companies, when it comes to access control. Okay, what about the data of the fingerprints, the data of the face, the data of what happens, who is storing them? Many questions come around that.
So you see, with virtual cards, you have these two advantages. The first one is that the data is in the pocket of the owner of the data.
Yeah.
And the second one is that the reader itself is not expensive, because of the fact that the sensor for the Face ID is in your phone. So you have already paid that.
Yeah.
You are not going to pay twice to have a biometric recognition.
And let's say 90% of the people already, they have their fingerprints on the phone, they have their face recognition.
Yeah.
So In terms of readers, you are already. You are in the safe side when it comes to privacy and data
Yeah.
protection. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What are the unique challenges that STID is facing? I don't know, on daily basis, or like throughout this technology with competitors, with other Asian markets. Since you are in Europe, I believe in Europe, like we all know and we all understand that the quality is much different than in other regions in this world. So, what are the challenges that you face?
Well, when I try to introduce our products, I always try to emphasize the advantages of the product. And if I can really understand the needs of the customer, then price is not that important because you are providing a solution.
Yeah.
And so that is just a cost, but if I could find a solution that is more important than the cost itself, then I'm winning. That doesn't mean that we are out of the market. For sure, to produce in Europe is more expensive, but at the same time, we can provide, I think, high quality. We can provide a large portfolio of solutions, and finally, we can provide very high level of security, and that makes the difference. Actually, our company started dealing with the army and with police. So it is really security by design. That doesn't mean that our readers are, I don't know, with a lot of parameters that is not easy to be set up. It's just the contrary. I mean, it can be very easy when you need to be a very easy installation. But if you need to apply to a very high level of security, we can do that.
So you have the options to have it highly encrypted and
Yes, all our readers are basically you can set up every kind of parameter, from the color of the lid to the buzzer, but also, of course, concerning the encryption, you can choose which kind of encryption you are going to use. You can decide which kind of keys for security you want to add. So you can really define everything, and the solution is totally yours. That
yeah.
means that we don't own any kind of keys. You are dealing with your security, and the secret of your security is in your hands, not our hands.
During your period now with STID, for how long are you with STID?
It's a couple of years.
Couple of years now. Is there any like project you did that made a really significant impact?
Well, there are a couple. Actually, we have two different branches, and that are pretty different. If we are talking strictly about security, I think that where we can make a huge difference is in places where there are a lot of users. For example, universities, because our virtual credentials are something very close to young people that are used to use their own mobile, and they prefer not to have another one, physical cards, but just use their mobile for everything, to get access to libraries, to to have some papers printed from a printer, to get access to some rooms in the university. And on the other hand, we have just one-time paying for these virtual cards. There is no recurrency fees on these. That means
no
for
subscriptions and
no subscriptions,
yeah.
and that means that for university they can buy once a total amount of virtual cards, and then they can reuse it. They can issue and revoke as many times as they want, and for them it's very easy to manage these credentials just by sending an email or revoking these credentials, just clicking on a website.
Wonderful.
On the other side, if we are talking about industries, our technologies can be used for tracking a lot of things, goods, such as, I don't know, containers, for example, or pallets, or trolleys in an airport. And here is where.
And how is that with readers? How do you manage doing that?
Well, basically, we can build, for example, a gate where you are obliged to go through, and then you know in which part of the airport or your company such a good is. Of course, you don't know exactly where it is in every
it's not,
moment. It's not a GPS.
A GPS, yeah.
But for example, if you are underground or GPS doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if you build up a system with these kind of readers and long-range readers, then you know at least in which part of the company, of the airport, or the railway station trolleys are, for example.
And you just mentioned long-range readers. What is the maximum range that a long-range reader can achieve?
Well, it depends on the tag, first of all. But let's say that we can reach about 15 meters.
15, that is the maximum. And using which protocol?
The frequency is in a UHF frequency.
Yeah.
And well, we can encrypt the communication to make it more secure as well. But yes, the reading range is about 15 meters because in any case, our readers and tags are used when you're close, and it's a nonsense if you want to go more distant because you need to identify a tag. But if you are looking at a very spread area, then you don't know. You can see too many tags, for example. So it's nonsense. You need to identify just a gate and know if somebody goes through. That can be used, for example, also for human beings for hands-free access control. So people just with a badge can go through a portal and you know if they are inside or outside.
The technology is really changing. I remember when I was into access controls, it was quite different. Now, see, I've seen actually many cases, for example, in the Middle East, where residential buildings or commercial buildings, they have their own car parks for cars, and of course you need to use the card with the reader to enter. I mean, for the gate barrier. But many people were able, with some machines they buy on eBay, to copy the cards.
Yeah.
So how can that be prevented?
Well, you can find on the market many technologies. Actually, maybe just this Fire AV3 is the one that is not possible to be copied or to be hacked because it's just a question of time. It takes too long to find the key.
Yeah.
That is a very good question because most of the time companies don't think about how they are in danger because it's very easy to copy 125 kilohertz card, for example.
Yes. Yeah. Mainly those are mainly the 125 cards. Yes, I know. But other than that, nothing can be copied, right?
This Fire AV3 cannot be copied.
My Fair cannot be copied also.
My Fair Classic, yes.
Okay.
Ultralight, yes. Just this Fire AV3 is an exception.
What about cards? Do you produce cards or no?
No,
only
we don't
readers?
produce cards. We produce readers. We have cards, of course, because you need the card to be read by the reader, but we don't produce cards.
Great. And what is, for example, I know when you see the card, when you put it like on the light, you will see there is a coil inside.
Yes.
So how do you differentiate what type of frequency is it using if you are into the cards?
Well, it's not that easy to be understood, actually, but you know, there are different frequencies. So if it is my Fair or this Fire, it is 13.56 megahertz. And so it has got a different antenna. If it is 125 kilohertz, it has got a different antenna.
So does it make difference with the coil inside the card?
Yes, yes. Of course,
how many turns it has, or if there is a space, or?
Well, it's a very technical question, but the fact is, that the antenna must be done exactly for the frequency you want to be read.
Okay, great. And tell me, what is the plans now for STid, for new technology, for anything that is coming up?
Well, there are a lot of new technologies coming out, and that means a lot of new potential on the market, new possibility, new solutions. What I can tell you that in the near future, we are working a lot with, let me say, virtual cards. That means to have the possibility to store your cards in a wallet on your mobile. We are opening also the market with Apple Wallet and Google Wallet as well. That means to have some advantages, in some cases some disadvantages. It is mainly linked by the cost of the app. But this is one of the most significant developments in the near future because more and more we can see interest by the market in virtual cards. That means to be able to use your mobile to go everywhere and to do almost everything.
And what about the customer feedback? How do you implement customer feedback to new things or to technology or to whatever you are doing?
Well, customer feedback is very precious to us because, again, you can imagine and you can design something, but then it's the market that is testing every day in everyday life. And very often they can face some difficulties or they can suggest you some new applications. So it's really precious. We have just a ticketing system. So any request coming from the market, coming from customers,
Yeah.
is stored in this ticketing system, and it's used also to design new products. So it's very important also for R&D.
Since you are doing only card readers, there are many companies they do access control and card readers together. So is it like that those companies are using third-party readers and they are selling it with their systems, or how does it go? Why if I have a system for myself? I mean, I'm a manufacturer of access controls. I have the full solution. Why do I have to buy the card readers from you?
That's a very good question. The fact is that when you are focused on developing an access control system, most of the time you are focusing on the software and all the features that you can provide with the software. Most of the time, then you have your own controller and you cover most of the market demand with your own readers. But very often you cannot provide a complete portfolio of readers, and there is where we can make the difference. We have a complete portfolio from ATIX readers to long-range readers to virtual cards, biometric reader, QR code reader.
Exactly.
So we can help our customers.
So somebody should be there who has a full 100% focus on card readers. So if I try to do that, then I will lose all my focus on the system, on the solution, on the software of the access control.
Yes, on the platform. Yes.
Can you tell me what are the market trends now, and where do you see yourself?
Yes, well, we can see that access control market is developing from just security to security plus a commodity. And that makes really the difference because security is something that maybe it's useful from time to time. But if you think about a reader, an access control system in your everyday life, then makes different. And so more and more we can see that in the new projects, access control is just a commodity for employees to make processes quicker, smoother, to provide a lot of information to whatever you want, and that helps to improve not just security but also processes in general. And last but not least, more and more we can see that our readers are part of a bigger ecosystems where the data we can provide to the system are used to improve the everyday life.
Definitely, I see that change is going on. Even myself, I like to use access controls. I'm soon building a house, and I'm planning to have an access control all over the house with the full security system. And so definitely, yes. Even for commercials, yes. Using access control, I think it is very important, not only for security, also for using maybe time attendance, for controlling the workers, when did they come, when did they go, when did they leave, right?
To book a parking spot, for example.
Yes.
To provide a desk for employees in
Yes.
this new home.
Exactly. And also nowadays with for example, like the Airbnb, I think
Yes.
people are renting their homes not through other facility management companies or other companies. They are renting
Directly.
apartments, and they even can have now easy control with access
Yes.
controls. Even if they are somewhere out of the country, they are renting online. They can have the full access to open the door, close the door, and
Yes, and more we can do many things remotely. That makes
Yeah.
the difference.
Excellent. Anything you want to say before we leave to our audience?
Well, it was a pleasure to be here in Sarajevo. I hope tonight is going to be great. I'm sure about that.
I'm sure that you will have a good time, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being our guest today,
It was a
and
pleasure.
hopefully we will see you more often and more here in the Adria Security Summit. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you in our next session.